So I will be explaining oxidation and reduction processes. First thing to know is what an electrochemical cell is. An electrochemical cell is a chemical system that produces electrical energy. I've drawn up a diagram of how they're typically set up. We're not going to focus on all parts of the electrochemical cell, we're just going to focus on the beakers. So the beaker on the left contains metal strip A, which is in a solution of metal A ions. And the beaker on the right contains metal strip B, and it's in a solution of metal B ions. Now, a half reaction is half of an electrochemical cell. So the beaker containing metal strip A on the left is one half reaction, and the beaker containing metal strip B on the right is another half reaction. There are two types of half reactions. There's an oxidation reaction, which is the half reaction where a substance loses electrons. And then you have the reducing reaction, which is a half reaction where a substance gains electrons. So the substance that causes the second substance to undergo oxidation is known as the oxidizing agent. The oxidizing agent itself undergoes reduction. And the substance that causes the first substance to undergo reduction is known as the reducing agent. The agent itself undergoes oxidation. To help better explain this, I drew up a small diagram, a cartoon. So you have Ox, the reducing agent, and Red, the oxidizing agent. So Ox gives away or loses an electron to Red. So Ox undergoes oxidation. And Red receives an electron or gains an electron, so Red undergoes reduction. So Ox is the reducing agent because Ox gives an electron to Red, which causes Red to undergo reduction, and vice versa. So as an example, we are told to identify the species being oxidized and the species being reduced for this following equation. Whenever you want to identify these species, you just break down the equation into half reactions. So you have tin 4 plus, which becomes tin 2 plus. And as you can see, the positive charge of tin has gone down from 4 plus to 2 plus, meaning tin has gained 2 electrons. And then you have iron, which becomes iron 2 plus. And iron becomes more positive, has a more positive charge. So that means iron has lost electrons. Or in this case, 2 electrons have been lost. So tin gains 2 electrons to become tin 2 plus. So tin is the species reduced. And iron is the species oxidized. We have a second example, and instead of being told to identify the species, we are told to identify the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent of this following equation. So, like with the previous example, we go to half reactions first. You have cobalt 2 plus becomes just cobalt. So cobalt, in this case, gains 2 electrons. Then you have manganese, which becomes manganese 2 plus. And in this case, manganese loses 2 electrons. So cobalt is the species that undergoes reduction. And manganese undergoes oxidation. And from what we've seen up above, the oxidizing agent undergoes reduction, and the reducing agent undergoes oxidation. And based on that, and because we know who undergoes reduction and oxidation, we can tell that Phosphate is the oxidizing agent. And manganese is the reducing agent. And that just wraps up oxidation and reduction processes.